All right. Moving on, we have a bunch of stuff on deck. Creating a pitch poster from JP, RG retrospective. I guess are there any of these um, on deck things that we can remove because they aren't important, or we're not working on them, or we're not planning on working on them, or they are complete? Anyone see any of those here?
I think the pitch deck is complete.
Yeah, so
The pitch-
the
pitch
promote
poster.
the CM team now. So I don't think that is still an activity.
Oop. Which one did you say, Mikhail?
Promote the PM team in BDAO.
Is that complete?
Yeah. I don't think it's still still
Oh my god. I I don't know where the completed date is on this, but okay. Completed and completed.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So so this is something I took it over from, I think, season 5 or something. So it was when we started discussing on using Twitter posts, and then someone mentioned LinkedIn. Not before, that was before the Samantha Mine article. So I said this tax is no longer existing because I think we're basically like done with the promotion. So it was formally assigned to Spirited. I think that was last season, but I think he finished the tax or he didn't finish it. I don't know why, but it is moved to season 7 now. It was not done by me. I'm guessing probably Kikau thought I'm still going to like work on it. So we can still come back to that tax and discuss about it. Maybe just leave it on deck and then we can come back to it later. Yeah.
Cool. I see as well that there is this one, scope out talent role for season 6. Ray Bankless, are you still working on this?
Which one? Sorry.
Scope out talent role for season 6.
No.
Okay, I'm going
That
to.
was we were working on season 5, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna mark this as complete. Complete. I have 2 more tasks to ask you about, Ray Bankless. Accounting template for education bounties. Are you still working on this?
I think it's done, but I think we should ask Jay and Sprinkles together. I think if they accepted, I think Jay is using the concept, but as in his own way. So we should ask them. I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, if Jay Fanny has adopted it, I think we can mark it as complete personally. But I will leave a thing here.
So that was maybe adopted from the original one that I'd put in to look into different ways that the bounties could be recorded, which was like to look into different ways. And I know Bankless Card does a good way of recording their bounties, which I don't know if that one got complete.
I think there was a different one for that, if I'm not mistaken. But we could always create a new task if that's what we wanted to do. Did you want to get something going for that? I think we had an investigation task at some point.
Yeah, so I think
Bounty
that one.
board one? There was one, yeah, Sprinkles shared yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, what happened to that? Okay, I'll have to look for that one, but we can just create a new one. So, what is it actually that you wanna accomplish, Sprinkles?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if there was an easier way for the bounties and tasks to be recorded and for anyone to be able to submit something that they had done that, that they wanted to receive, like either retroactive payment for, or like, any sort of payment for.
Okay. So how about this? The process for submitting bounties is, I don't know if decentralized is a good word, is documented. Is this kind of what we're trying to do? We're trying to document a process for submitting bounties, or is there something else that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so it was submitting bounties and recording them.
All right. Is this something that you're able to work on, or is it something else that you want to? Oops, not education, administration. Is this something that you wanted to work on, Sprinkles, or you were hoping someone else would pick up?
So I thought that Ray Bankless and Jay Fanny had picked it up, but I could be.
Oh, there's one down here actually. So I created this one, but I'm going to delete this actually because there's one that I found a little bit below. Right here, and to look into ways to track bounties on the bounty board. Ray Bankless, D1. I see that there was some look at this here at least. Is this the one? I see Bankless card is mentioned.
It is, yeah.
Okay. So is there anyone, Ray Bankless, are you working on this?
Well, the template I used, I had a bounty board section over there, and I was tracking Jay's also tracking the bounty board projects, the bounty board bounties like that now. But I think Sprinkles is asking for something else. Maybe we didn't understand. We weren't able to get in a common ground of what's needed about the task.
Yeah, so I think I was just looking for to look into different ways, look into different like tagging systems for role
Okay.
holder payments and alternative ways to what we're using right now.
Are
It
there
would
other
be
things?
easy
Are
for,
there,
sorry.
yeah, like what are you hoping as the output of this? Are you hoping to have like a document which has a comparison, or?
Yeah, I'm just looking for, a document would be great for something that's easier than everything going into a channel and getting lost and scrambling at the end of the month to find everything.
So that is definitely so you want a document to compare different ways, or did you want just like did you just want to stop the like? I guess like one thing I'm confused about is like, is Jay Fanny like? It feels like the scrambling at the end of the month and stuff. Like it feels like if Jay Fanny's okay with the process and he's doing the scrambling, there's no need for us to do anything, right? But is there some other need that's not being met?
So they say like on the merchandise right now, where are they, like how are they submitting that?
Okay.
How as
All
a
right.
as a work stream lead am I keeping track of everything?
All right. So I think it is really like a documentation. Like we basically need to create documentation for how our bounties are tracked in the PM Guild. Is that a legit view of this?
Links.
Yes.
I want to like keep in on this. I created the bounty channel basically for that. I'm not sure, except for bounties that are not using bounty board. I think the bounty channel is more like the go-to source for Jfani if he wants to like compile the old bounties we have done in a month or a season. They could just go to the PM bounty channel and source for them with the hash code and everything. So they have, and if they are to use the bounty accounting that I made, the form that I made, like the sample of that to track the bounties, it will also help them. So that would be like, okay, let me cross check this thing and make sure this bounty is correct. You can go to the channel and search for it. Okay, it's correct. Yeah, I can put it in the bounty payroll and say, okay, we are paying this out, this X amount of bounty. So maybe you could add it somewhere there that they could also reference the PM bounties channel, because that's what it's for.
Okay. So it looks like we have the beginnings of a process, but we are missing some things. So I wrote down.
Yeah, I also have a question. Does Bounty Board already keeps track of it? Because you can list all the bounties and like you can, right? You can just list all the bounties and you can pick which ones you opened and stuff.
Yep, you can. So you can even filter by tags once you log in and stuff like that. And tags are now automatically created. So anything that gets created in the in a certain thing. So I can type in PM here, and you can see that there is a PM Guild tag. So boom, you create that, and here are all the PM Guild bounties.
Yeah, to see all the bounties, you don't have to go behind in the channel.
You do not. But this is a new feature. This just came out. So you can see here all the bounties. But I think that Sprinkles' need comes from a lack of clarity around, well, the way I put it is who should be able to submit requests for bounties? How are these bounties approved? What is the process for submitting, approving, and paying bounties, right? Like the process of like, oh, TechnoX created this thing. They did a great job. How do we get them paid? How do we, like, I feel like there's something missing. A document which describes the process for bounty compensation. Success criteria, a document is created. And that document has passed the PM governance process. All right. So here is a new, here's a new task for us. I put it in here. Anyone feel like taking this on? All right, I'm going to put it into the on deck. Ooh, don't remove. There we go. And this tag track bounties, I think, is completed, right? Like, I think you guys are happy with the way that this is working. So I'm going to complete that one. So we did a little bit of Kanban hygiene here, not a lot, but you can see that our on deck is now down to 16. Our in progress is down to 7. So all in all, it is a better view of what our group is doing than before. And where did that? Where created documentation? Okay, so this is it. Okay, and so all this to say that we are at the end of the time for our tactical. We're going to move on to the discussion so that we don't take up too much time. But don't be surprised if I continue to call on people to try to get this on deck section a little bit more pared down, because I think that it's important for us to understand what our next steps are. But for now, this is good enough, and we will move down to the discussion topics. So we have 30 minutes to talk as a group on some of these discussion topics. Tags. Oh, I see. I think, Mikhail, you added this, or was it someone else who added this?
No, I added the tags because the first discussion was under the tag section, the tags thread in Discord here. So I wanted to like divide the first two, the quoting links and quoting with Bankless, and then quoting Makil. I wanted to divide them, but I think I forgot. But the tags was under here. Oh, wow.
Can you potentially speak to what the problem is?
Yeah, so the first one about the tags is we are discussing about the how we make use of our role tags, the PM project management guild, the one you can go to role select and tag, and then the active member tag. So we're discussing about, okay, maybe we should have something like a grade, or let's say levels in the PM guild active member tags. So we can start with something like, let's say, PMA, PMB, PMC, with each of them advancing in how well the member that has the tag has a kind of like their reputation in the PM guild and how well they can handle some stuff, and will also increase their permissions in taking some gigs or something like that. So that's basically about the tags. And then the one I would quoting Ray Bankless, Ray mentioned something we did something similar to that in the Sobo workstream, where you can now only get the Sobo editor tag just from OtaSpace. So how that works is you give them your your wallet address, they add you as a whitelist in OtaSpace, and then you can claim them. But before they can add you as a whitelist, you must have something. Okay, I've done something like this. I did this mapping last season. This is the number of mapping I do. Okay, this qualifies you to have your wallet address whitelisted. If you have not done any mapping at all, you are not going to get whitelisted or something like that. So they mentioned that. So I wanted to like reference that if you want to do something similar to that, if you want to like make use of OtaSpace. That's for the tags. And then mine was sorry, can you scroll a little bit down?
Yeah. Down here, Mikhail.
Yes. So this mine was about the Mirror article that Fine edited. So during the meeting, Samantha mentioned we make use of LinkedIn and Reddit, that they have this huge amount of audience, and then we can also pass our message out quicker and stuff like that. So, and then in the ending of the article, they also mentioned that okay, we will be posting on our LinkedIn and Reddit. So I quoted that message saying, we don't have a LinkedIn and Reddit account. Should we change we will be posting on LinkedIn and Reddit to Mirror and Twitter, or maybe we want to like spin up a LinkedIn and Reddit account. But I also mentioned that if we are going to do that, we'll just be like adding more workload because we are not done with Twitter and we are also not done with Mirror. So we haven't like identified how we want to like go by. We already discussed that okay, the Mirror will be once a month, the posting will be once a month, but Twitter as well, I think is still ongoing. So we are yet to actually make use of two of them very well. So I was a bit skeptical on adding LinkedIn and Reddit, but that's not for me to decide. So I added that in the discussion agenda where we can discuss on, okay, let's open a LinkedIn account, someone else will manage it, let's open a Reddit account, so person will manage it, and then we can use them for our Mirror account. We can just put most of our publications there also on the LinkedIn. Folks on LinkedIn can also like access them, read it, learn from us. So that's about all I posted. I didn't add quoting Oxlaw, so that was not done by me. Probably Sprinkles or Oxlaw. They might want to like add something to that.
All right. So for the very last one from Sprinkles, PM Guild course, this should probably be a guild-wide announcement, but basically anyone who is able to take a look at the PM course, that would be really great. I don't know why it showed up like this, but it looks like you can get a link right here. Maybe? Yeah, here we go. Okay. I'm going to drop this into the top up here, into the guild-wide announcements. Everyone review the PM course when you can. Boom. All right. So if you are looking to review it, you can find a link right there in the guild-wide announcements. For these other ones, I see that this one, Sprinkle says she is blocked. I just added her email to our account, so she should be okay now, but I will work with Sprinkles to make sure that she does get access. I also poked Renee earlier today to ask him to help us transition that PM Guild email over to us. But for now, let's talk about either tags, LinkedIn, Reddit, or the PM Guild Miro. Why don't we just stop at, you know what? Let's start with it, LinkedIn and Reddit, because I'm kind of interested in this one. And since I am the meeting moderator, I get to decide what we talk about. So let's start with LinkedIn and Reddit. Mikhail had written down that it's something that Find the article creator mentioned that we could put it on LinkedIn and Reddit, but we don't have a LinkedIn or Reddit. We have Mirror and Twitter. So I think that Mirror and Twitter, like every time we open a new communication channel, we also have to maintain that communication channel. So it is a decision that we have to make as a guild. But that being said, I had mentioned in that thread that I would love if we had a LinkedIn, because I think that that's where a lot of PMs are. And if we wanted to do recruiting to get PMs and turn them into Web3 PMs, that would be a really great place to do it. So the question is there anyone on this call who would be willing to maintain a LinkedIn or Reddit presence for the BanklessDAO PM Guild? No biters. Does anyone have an opinion on whether or not we should actually have a LinkedIn or Reddit account?
Sorry. I'd like to add something.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry, Sylvester. Please go
Me?
ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, first off,
Now I can't hear you anymore. Am I the only one?
because it's one thing to actually able to just, but it's one thing to actually out there in order to actually get the constantly because saying someone that actually understands how it works. So, and I feel someone who is actually don't actually actively have someone that can do that. Do you think there's a way to actually train someone, to let's say to manage the page or have a role dedicated to that page? I don't know if you have a social media manager already. If we do, I think it's something that person should handle. It's probably, to me, I feel it's a good idea if you actually delegate that role to someone else, someone in particular. So you have someone to be responsible for everything that goes on that page. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I'm of the opinion that we have someone actually who maybe you train or who actually has idea or has experience in social media that can actually run the page. But another question is, if you are doing that, will you be willing to like leave it to one person to actually move forward with the page, or you'd have to like train someone first to to handle the LinkedIn page before creating it, and then handing it over to that person? I don't know if you get what I mean.
I kind of get what you mean. And you were cutting in and out earlier, but I do think that, like, for instance, Vicky1 is handling
I
our
didn't
Twitter.
get that.
Sorry, can you hear me? Can people hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, for instance, Vicky1 is handling our Twitter. He had asked, we had said like we should have a Twitter, and Vicky1 put their hand up and said like I would like to work on our Twitter, and I had any necessary experience, but they kind of learned how to do it. We are in that same situation now for LinkedIn and other things. If you want to learn how to run, if you want to do that, this is an opportunity for you. You can put your hand up. We have some assets. We have our logo. We have like things that you can do so that you can set up a LinkedIn account for the PM Guild, and then and pushing it on Mirror, your job can basically be to push that content that is already being created to LinkedIn, just as Vicky1 is doing on Twitter.
GM everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually a good idea. Just like we did to Twitter. But in the first instance, I'm actually a digital marketer and a social media manager. So that was why I raised my hand for that tweet at that time. So in that regard, it's another thing to create a LinkedIn account, and it's another thing to keep it running, which is to maintain it. Because LinkedIn is not like other social media channel. If you are to post on LinkedIn, the content you have to be well scrutinized to make sure that it will communicate well to the audience on LinkedIn. What you are going to post on Twitter on Facebook is not directly what you're going to post on LinkedIn. So if we are having this account, how often or how ready are we to make sure that the account is functioning very well with content to make sure that we don't just open this account and just leave it like that or post once in a while. And one of the way accounts used to grow in order for us to get the expected audience and communicate what you have to communicate to them is posting content often, if not every week at least. In a month we should have like let me just say like have like more than 6 content posted on that page. And how often do we intend to do this? And what mechanisms are we actually putting in place to make sure if it is a bounty or if it is going to be managed by someone, do we have that structure in place? Because LinkedIn is not, to me, LinkedIn is not just a normal account where you just post anything like that. If you open LinkedIn account, we get a lot of people that will come to us. We have a lot of recommendations. We have a lot of people that want to open to our server to see what we are doing as a result of that. And we also want to communicate what we are doing here and some of our activities and our values to people out there. So I just want us to make sure that we actually put good structures in place before we have such things created, actually.
And so what kind of structures do you think that we would need in place? Like a content strategy and this kind of stuff?
Exactly. We're having a content strategy. There was a time we created a thread for Twitter where we discussed the strategy for Twitter and stuff like that. So if you can have that in place and have how the content is going to be shipped to that channel, maybe probably every week. If you have that in place already, then we cannot talk of opening the account. If we open the accounts now because of the present maybe project or something we are doing right now, after we are done posting that, how are we going to continue with that account? That is the main thing I'm talking about. But if you have these structures in place, maybe have this thread where maybe experienced people or people that are actually interested, where we talk about this thing, and we have a particular like a content calendar where we discuss the topic to write about, which will be posted on the channel every week or every month. I think it will actually be very good and to be a good start for us.
So is there a group of people, are there a group of contributors who are willing to raise their hand to put some work into this? As Vicky once says, this needs some work. Colad raised their hand. Vicky 1, are you able to put some effort into this potentially?
Yeah, I am actually a social media manager in Marketing Guild, and I have experience. I'm an experienced person in that regard. But if some people are willing to help also with their ideas, we could create that thread and get it running.
Anyone else?
I can join in to support if someone else takes the lead. I've never done that before. Floors.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to create a new task for this. A LinkedIn strategy is created, or let's just say we are on LinkedIn, and by we, the PM Guild is on LinkedIn. I will open this up. I'm going to attach it to the 3 people who raised their hands. Golade, I don't see you on here. That's unfortunate. Oak Floors and Vicky 1. Golade, maybe you can add yourself to this. I'm not really sure if you have a different name on here and I'm just missing you. But would be good to get you on our Notion. And I will as well put into Season 7. The theme will be Guild Visibility. The success criteria, I don't know what's going on there, so I'm going to put it here. Success criteria, aka definition of done. We have a strategy and other structures. Oh, you know what? Let's call it a shared understanding. Understanding of what we are trying to accomplish with our LinkedIn page and what we need to achieve our goals. And then we have a LinkedIn page. We have a LinkedIn admin who is regularly posting content. All right. Does this task cover what we're trying to accomplish?
Sorry, can you come again?
Is this task that I've written down here, is this kind of what we want to accomplish?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm going to get D1. I left you a little note in the PM voice. Actually, Sprinkles did as well. And D1's on it. So Kool-Aid, you're going to get on that task. D1 is going to help you. And where did that go? PM Guild is on LinkedIn. Okay, great. So that is that for that discussion item. Thank you, everyone. I think we have time for a little bit more. Do we want to talk tags? Tags is big, or otherwise using the PM Guild Miro. I guess like for the PM Guild Miro, that might be a smaller conversation. Oak Floors, my feeling is if it doesn't cost the PM Guild more, absolutely it's okay to use it. Any dissent in that opinion?
Perfect. So I'll just continue, and in the future, I could probably put it on the budget for the podcast astro if needed.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Feel free if you had some thoughts on that and weren't able to do it because you're shy or whatever, feel free to bring them up. You can bring them up to me directly. You can bring them up to Oak Floors, or you can post them in the PM Guild channel, and we will talk about it. But now let's a lot of time, but at least we can start scratching at the surface of the tags. Maybe it's a smaller conversation than I think. But essentially, I think Sprinkles, perhaps it was you who kind of brought this up in the first place. Do you want to talk about our tags in?
Sure. So right now our process is that somebody wants to check out the PM Guild or wants to be part of the PM Guild, and they self-select a tag. But what comes of that, like, we don't know. Right? And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall exactly. I feel like if we have like a better or a different process with that, it may be more beneficial than even like the active member tag.
Yeah. And so like, what are you hoping to get out of it?
I'm not sure. Maybe a better grasp on who even is interested in the PM Guild, like to be able to reach out to them for one. I'm not really sure.
I think like one thing I liked, we talked about the tags a little bit, and I said it would be cool if we had some tags that talked about the level of involvement or the level of trust that PM Guild member had, or maybe even the level of competence, right? Like I do think some tags could help with that. Like for instance, someone self-selects PM Guild. Well, actually all they're doing is they're just asking to be informed whenever the entire PM Guild is mentioned. But mean that they should be like, it doesn't mean that they should have governance rights, for instance, because anyone can take that role. It's not a permissioned role. So like the idea would be that if we have this active member role, which kind of confers governance rights, but what about other things other than governance? And like what about if you want to find a PM who runs a retrospective? is there a way to ping all the PMs who know how to do retrospectives? That kind of thing. I do think that we could use our tagging framework to help that.
For the last thing you said, PM Guild who can do retroactives, you can use Sobol. You can ask your contributors to enter your skills, and then you can do a search around it. Search PM, and then search the skills. So you don't need to add more tags to Discord for that.
So my question with that, right, is how do we even know within the PM guild who can do that?
That you need a way to confirm that that person has a skill, and we were talking about this in the beginning of the forming of the guild, and we had this skill tree, and we were looking at ways to confirm the skills of people. So that comes back to there. I'm just saying how we can use and search for that after finding the process. We designed the process to give out the tags or skills.
Would it make sense if there was a tag that Sobol would be able to track it easier?
I'm not sure. Yeah, but tags also have their own problems, like Discord having a limit on tags, and if every guild starts using those tags, like, I don't know, we have a limit. So that's a way. The other one is a way. But I think how to give out those tags as skills is more important part here.
Yeah,
You can
and
track it anyway.
yeah, we had started that and we kind of like stopped a little bit. So like I had issued some Mint Kudos credentials. So Mikiel, GCal, and myself have like a Kudos credential for like a PM Guild cohort that we had run. That, like, anyone who knows how to do a retrospective that has been kind of verified by the PM Guild, we could issue credentials to them using Mint Kudos, and then we could edit Collabland to like show those to show
we
those.
have that ready, links. We have that system ready with Other Space and Collabland.
Yeah, so I mean it's using Mint Kudos, but yeah.
Well, but we don't have that ready. But like what we can do, when you accept that this person has the skills to do retros, like say he did 3 retros and he get good feedback from all of it. I don't know what's good feedback, but to be discussed. If you get the good feedback, you get whitelisted on a project manager with retrospective skill badge that we will design. And then when we get the badge, Collabland, we also design a logic into Collabland's dashboard. And when you get the badge, you don't even need to go Collabland and verify. Collabland just will pick up the badge. And then we can create teams in Sobol with the skills. And you can just be mapped to Sobol, as in like retro team, like I don't know, whatever you get, we can do every skill as a team or however you like, team roles, whatever. We can just like track over there and use Other Space to credential it. So we have this kind of system ready going on.
Yeah, and for me, I guess like I'm really trying to understand the needs, because like honestly, that retrospective stuff, I don't think we need Discord tags for that necessarily. And maybe some way to view that, like so that someone like who is on the PM Guild Notion page could click a link and say like, oh, here are all the credentialed PMs who know how to do retros. I don't know if that needs to be on Discord, but I use case. I really want to understand the needs that are coming from this discussion item. And if we can figure out the needs, then we can create some scope around it.
capabilities are, or what they're capable of doing within the guild and externally. I think.
I think it will start with asking everyone for their skills, writing them down in a, I don't know, spreadsheet, Ray, skills, retros, sprint planning, and whatever else, links, skills, this, and that. And then we test them. Like, if there is a job for a sprint planner can do, check the list, Ray, links, and Scar can do it. Pick someone, talk to them, pick someone, and see if they can really do it. That's the only thing we have. Or create these opportunities inside the guild to test them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a bigger discussion around credentialing and not just Discord tags, which I'm okay if we have the discussion, but we are coming to the end of our meeting. So, like, is this something that it feels like this is part of the education or talent work stream? Is this something that someone wants to take on? I mean, I know that we're working on the course already. Is this like the credentialing step as part of the end of the course? Is that something that anyone wants to take on? Should we create a new task for this? Or is this kind of already being worked on?
So I
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, Mikhail, you go.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is more like a collective effort from both the talent work stream and education work stream. It's honestly going to like take a bit of time to sift through all those informations, because we already have some information about distributors, those that fill the form from PM Start here. We have some of their information, but not all, like the links, their specialty, their skill sets. So we don't have that. So we could probably start by collecting that. I'll spin off the tally form this night. So just edit some of the start here, and so any new contributor coming in can like fill that out right away, and then we can maybe just get the existing contributors to like fill the form again. That means we'll like make do of the former entry and then use this new entry. Then we can now start by sorting the tags and everything. But I would say it's more like a collective effort, because if only one work stream is dealing with this, might take a bit of time before we're able to like deliver at least some sort of something like an MVP or something. But yeah,
and
so let's see.
if I recall, this was actually, we kind of deprioritized this as a guild because we really wanted to focus around getting that education piece out.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe this will come up as part of our education, but as a guild, we're really trying to focus ourselves on that education piece. I'll leave it for now. We're 2 minutes over as well. I just want to take the time to thank everyone and thank you for all of your opinions. Thank you for your contribution, and I am really glad to be part of this group. Unfortunately, I went a little bit over today, so thanks for everyone. But if you got to leave, you got to leave.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay to be over, because we are actually trying to like sort some cool things out, and if we are able to like get them out there, we'll be able to like improve the guild exponentially. Yeah. So thank you everyone for attending the call, for staying till now.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.